Yeah. So one thing on socials that I think rugby needs more of, and it's something that Formula One does and has
Yeah.
started doing, something I can't understand why rugby doesn't do it, because it's got the, shall we say, the assets to do it, is thirst traps. So
Yes.
F1 has really lent hard into doing thirst traps and F1 drivers and things. And then we saw there
Yeah.
was one clip in the World Cup of Sia Khaleesi lifting up Jesse Creel in the
Lifting,
air,
yeah. Oh
and it
man,
went mad.
that went
And I
viral,
was
didn't
like,
it?
why? With, like we said, with rugby, they got these like huge men that are absolutely ripped, and they're like, they don't even try. Whereas Formula One's obviously had huge success doing that.
You know what? It's actually crazy. I think with rugby, one, I think you've got rugby as a whole, so the World Cup and the federation, whoever runs rugby. What's your plan to get younger people into rugby? But what's the plan to get younger people to be able to find out who these people are and like their personalities? And I think that's what Formula One, yes, the thirst trapping, they've gone in on that. And you know what? Fine, do that. The more they do that, it's crazy. Look, if you come to one of our live shows, the majority of the people who come to our live shows are women. And, if you'd asked me when I was a kid, or even before I started the podcast, did I think that a large proportion of women watched F1? I would have said no, purely because of how it was advertised and how,
Yeah.
the people I saw in the stands or whatever. But it's really changed. And I think that's because I think Drive to Survive, if any sport didn't deserve it but got it, it's Formula One. They lucked upon Drive to Survive. They were going to do a season review documentary. The top two teams, Mercedes and Ferrari, wanted no parts of it. They only had 8 teams,
Yeah, that was crazy,
16
wasn't it?
drivers, 16 drivers to work with. So they said, you know what? Let's concentrate on these lesser known people and we'll bring their personalities to the fore. Lo and behold, people now connect with these drivers, whether that's physically or their personalities and whatever, and it's helped to grow the sport, and they've been able to capitalize off that. And now every other sport has come out with a documentary series of some sort. But the social media side of thing, yeah, F1 have really kind of tapped into that because they were in a pretty bad place with Bernie anyway. And
Yeah.
I think there's lessons there for rugby if they can look at, okay, how can we, I mean, even tennis is doing a great job of it. I see some of the TikToks from like tennis and they're so like on the nail for like Gen Z and whatever they're watching. I feel old looking at some of the tennis tournament TikToks. But if that's the thing, right? Capitalizing on, like I say, these great assets, but some of them are great personalities as well. There's personalities in every team, and there's stories in every team as well that can be brought to life. And that's what kind of helps things, right? Stories and narratives. And I think it's a shame that they're not doing more.